A few days ago, I went to the police station because I wanted to renew my passport. It's expired for like 1.5 years, and because of that, I can't travel to Dubai that I want to. And bro, I wanted to go to Dubai so much for this Ilya Topuria Max Holloway fight, and I also had some friends there who invited me, but I couldn't because of this. And so I realized one thing when I was in the police station, and after being to the police station where I was with my friend, we were having a chat and we were doing some work in the coffee shop, and I realized one thing. So I went in the documents where I saw that last year, it was November, and I tried to renew my passport then. And renewing your passport is like $92. And do you want to know the crazy part? Last year I was so broke that I didn't even have $92 to renew my passport. That is how broke I was last year. And so it wasn't only that. Most people don't know this, and if I'm being honest, it's not very easy for me to share this, especially publicly, but I'm gonna do that because it might help you if you're in this scenario too, or if you're in a similar scenario, or even if you're not in a similar scenario, you can just see the transformation that I went from being super broke to making 5-10K a month every single month, and being free, financial free, location freedom, time freedom, whatever, pursuing my hobby full time, like doing whatever you want. So another thing I used to do is I used to eat, bro, fuck that shit, I'm gonna share it, I don't care. So I was so broke I couldn't even afford to have a full fridge. This is what I'm talking about. Not only that, I might be laughing now, but it's not because it is funny, but because I see this transformation that I made. I'm so happy about myself. I'm so proud of myself. So last year, bro, I was, just so my money would last longer, I would be buying this dog shit, this garbage food, like this so cheap chicken, for example, that it was in this packets, it's in these fridges, in these refrigerators, and you cooked it, and once you ate it, it had such a bad taste that it literally felt like you were eating rotten dog food. I'm not kidding here. This is not an over-exaggeration. This is actually true. If you ask anyone from my family, if you ask anyone from my close circle, they're gonna verify that because it's true. Another thing I used to do last year is I used to eat just one meal a day. And when people around me were asking me about why are you doing this to yourself, well, like, why are you eating breakfast? Why are you eating breakfast, dinner, lunch, whatever, and you're eating only dinner? I used to tell them that I am trying this intermittent fasting diet. This is what I used to tell them. And the reality was I just was too broke to pay for anything. And because I was buying all these cheap foods, I also got acne, like insane acne. You don't realize how bad the acne was. It was insane. Like my whole face was covered with pimples, whatever they're called. It was so bad. It felt like my face was attacked by a group of piranhas or something. It was insane. Another thing was I was so broke I couldn't even renew my gym membership, which was like 60 euros a month, which is nothing at this point. But I was so broke I couldn't even afford $60 for my gym membership. Not only that, I had stopped doing my hobby, which is fighting, which I really fucking love. Like, since I discovered it, literally, since I discovered fighting, I knew I wanted to be a fighter. Like, this was my dream ever since I was 16 years old, since I discovered it. And so I had to quit that because when you're training one-on-one, especially with a coach, it's too expensive. And bro, I didn't have money for a simple gym membership. Do you expect I had money for the Muay Thai coach, which is one-on-one? Of course not. So I stopped that. All I was doing was working. I was in the worst period of my life because I had also pushed everyone aside. So I didn't have any friends either. I wasn't spending that much time with my family because I wanted to be as productive as possible, as people say. And so, yeah, this is kind of like my story last year, from rags to riches, whatever. I don't consider myself rich. Like, 10K a month isn't rich. Not at all. Like at this point, like I see 100K a month and I'm not even impressed. Like of course, I'm going to be super happy. You don't call me arrogant, don't call me whatever. It's just that I have so massive goals. That's it. And now that I look back at my journey, I'm so happy about myself. Like I'm so proud that I didn't give up in these tough moments. Because most copywriters, they don't land clients in their first year, in the first few months, and they feel like it doesn't work for them. And the reality is, it won't work for you until it will work for you. And something else I've realized is that you're not going to see results in the beginning because you're making this invincible progress that people call it. And so once you actually start making progress, that's when you unstoppable. That's when you become unstoppable. And this is something I was saying to my student yesterday. She landed her first 2K a month client, I think, for just an email a week, 3 emails a week. And she was asking me about the momentum. She's like, how do you create momentum? Or I think I posted a story about it and she asked me about it. And I told her the thing you do with momentum is once you start seeing that one bit of momentum, like the tiniest bit of momentum, that's when you nail down on it. And that's when you ride the momentum wave for as long as it goes. Because what most people do, and that's why you feel like you're making a little progress, but then you're going back, then you fall back, is because you make the progress and then you stop putting in the effort that you used to put. So you go from putting in as much effort to stop putting in effort, and then you go back. So a saying I really love, a quote I really love is, when things are going easy and when you have momentum, that's when you keep going even harder. And that's something, for example, in my business, for example, whenever it's going great, like I don't want to stop working, man. I can be there and I can be putting in 16-hour work days. Like I can be working from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, like no problem, and I feel happy because I know that this is what is going to get me to the next level, and not that, balance. Of course, you need to have balance, but a lot of times you need to be unbalanced for you to be balanced. And I don't regret anything I did. I don't regret eating the rotten dog food. I don't regret having the empty fridge, even though I could get a job probably and live an okay life while doing copy on the side. I don't regret that. Even though I could spend more time with family and friends, I don't regret that. Even though I got acne when I could have avoided this, I don't regret that either. And even though I could have found a way to go to the gym, like find that $60 to go to the gym, I don't regret that. I don't regret any of this, because if one thing changed, if one thing went differently back then it would be I would be a totally different person. I wouldn't have all this experience. I wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't be sharing this story with you. And if I wasn't sharing this story with you, maybe not you, but someone watching this video, they wouldn't be motivated right now. They wouldn't be motivated about what's possible. Because that's my goal here. I want to motivate you about what's possible. And I want to show you that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your background doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your skills don't matter. If English is your first language, doesn't matter. Like if you go back to watch my first video, you're gonna see that the way I speak is a lot differently. Like if these videos are totally unscripted, like I don't write anything. I just have an idea and I just start talking about it, and it's 9 minutes by now, and I'm like, what the fuck? I could never do this. So if you go back to my first video, my first unscripted video, you're going to notice that I was speaking like I didn't really know what I was doing. So your English doesn't matter either. Like nothing matters. Your age doesn't matter. I know 14, 15 years old who are already making 10, 20K a month. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. All that matters is you going through that empty fridge stage, and then you come up on top. That's all that matters. Nothing else. The skills, the experience, they're all gonna take care of themselves as long as you stay in the game, as long as you go through these phases that everybody else would quit. Because picture this, I don't even know one person who could go through what I went through and they would still be in the game. Who else could survive this? Like, of course, a lot of people have gone through worse. Okay, whatever. But for me, that was rock bottom. So yeah, this is what I want to share with you. Hope you got some value out of this. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, share. See you next time. Love you.